from WDTN, the station that's working for you. This is 2 News at 11 with breaking news.
And it is tragic breaking news tonight here on 2 News at 11. A 4-year-old child has been killed after being hit by a pickup truck. The boy was pronounced dead there on scene. This happened around 6 o'clock this evening near the intersection of Keenan Avenue and Webster Street. That would be in Harrison Township. Officers say the driver of the truck did remain on scene and at this point will not be charged. The incident, though, does remain under further investigation.
We are following a developing story from Dart County. One person is dead after a crash on US 127 just south of Brown Road near York Township. The Dart County Sheriff's Office says a van was driving north on 127 when it crossed the center line and hit a semi head-on. The driver of the van was thrown from the vehicle and died at the scene. The driver of the semi was treated and released. And we have new information on a Dayton homicide investigation. The Montgomery County coroner has identified the victim as 51-year-old Brian Jacobs. Police say Jacobs was shot in a home on Gondard Avenue early Tuesday morning. Police arrested a man in his 20s at the scene. They believe this incident was family or household related.
And in more local news tonight, a house is destroyed by fire in Dayton. Heavy flames covered the house on East Norman Avenue this morning. Fire officials say no one was inside the house when the fire began, so no one was hurt. They have ordered an emergency demolition for this house because of the heavy damage done. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
We are looking ahead to National Drug Take Back Day happening this weekend. This Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. the Dayton Police Department will join the DEA for the event. You can get rid of unwanted prescription drugs at 5 locations around the city of Dayton. The drop-off is free and anonymous. To find a list of those drive-through locations, head to WDTN.com and click As Seen on 2 News.
We're following up on a deadly shooting in Kettering. The suspect made his first court appearance today. Jaleel Brooks was arraigned on several charges in Kettering Municipal Court, including murder. Kettering police releasing surveillance video Monday that showed Brooks firing a gun into a car at the BP gas station. It happened at Smithville Road and Wilmington Pike Saturday night. 21-year-old Anthony Gray died at the scene. Another person in the car was also injured. Police say Brooks shot Gray at least 10 times.
A man was arrested after crashing a car into Ned Pepper's in the Oregon district. Police were called to the bar last night after the man crashed his car into the building. Investigators say he got out of the car and started acting erratically. They say he hurt someone by throwing a sidewalk sign. The Ned Pepper's building suffered minor damage, and that man was taken to the Montgomery County Jail on assault and vandalism charges.
The deadly shooting of a Columbus teen fuels new calls from some for police reform. We also have the latest on that investigation.
And a small business in Clark County receives a special mention by the president, how they're helping employees and customers get their COVID-19 vaccination.
But first here tonight at 11, the very latest on the deadly shooting of that 16-year-old girl by police over in Columbus.
Micaiah Bryant died yesterday after police were called on reports of a fight and a potential stabbing. Columbus officers went to Legion Lane around 4:30 p.m. Tuesday where they found a group of people fighting. Interim Chief Michael Woods says a female with a knife identified as Bryant tried to stab someone on the ground, then another person pushed up against a vehicle. When Bryant tried to stab the second person, an officer now identified as Nicholas Reardon fired his weapon 4 times. Brian died at the hospital. Police and city leaders are urging patience to let the investigation play out.
This is a failure on part of our community. Some are guilty, but all of us are responsible. Regardless of the circumstances associated with this, a 16-year-old girl lost her life yesterday. I sure as hell wish it had happened.
Ohio BCI is leading the investigation into that shooting. Meanwhile, protesters in Columbus are demanding change. Tonight, a vigil was held for the teen, but earlier today, Ohio State students demonstrated in Columbus. It began as a sit-in at the Ohio Union, followed by a march in the streets of Columbus. Students demanded accountability and police reform.
And we have team coverage of this for you here tonight. Governor DeWine today announcing that a new police reform bill is in the works, led by State Representative and former Montgomery County Sheriff Phil Plummer. And 2 News reporter Caroline Moore spoke with the Sheriff's Office about that proposed legislation.
Montgomery County Sheriff Rob Streck is one of 12 members of the Ohio Collaborative in Community Police Relations. Now, he represents all 87 sheriff offices across the state, and he says he's very confident that all agencies are excited about this new proposal.
In more local news, 2 people are dead and a toddler is in the hospital after a crash in Miami County. Troy police say a man trying to get away from them caused this accident. They tried to pull over 19-year-old Jalen Alexander early this morning. A high-speed chase caused Alexander to crash into a minivan on State Route 202 south of US 40 in Bethel Township. 32-year-old Chelsea Vollmer was driving the minivan. She and Alexander both died at the scene. Today we talked to people who heard the crash.
I run outside and holler, is anybody in there? Which I know that, but I was trying to get somebody to say something. Nobody said nothing. I went in to get my phone to call 911.
Vollmer's 2-year-old daughter is in the intensive care unit at Dayton Children's. A passenger in the suspect's vehicle was also hospitalized.
This is 2 News at 11 with breaking news.
And the breaking news here tonight at 11, part of I-75 remains. The right lane is now closed. The center lane had been. Apparently, it's now back open as crews, as you can see, now at least have the semi back up on its wheels, so they're making some progress there. We've learned the crash involved 3 vehicles in all. 1 person has been taken to the hospital, but we do, again, have a crew live for you on the scene. We'll keep you updated on the situation on 75 Live on the air, and also on WDTN.com and also on the free 2 News app, so we'll keep you posted.
Tonight, we're looking ahead to a tasty way you can give back to the community. Tomorrow, several Jersey Mike's sub-locations will donate 100% of their proceeds to United Rehabilitation Services. That promotion will run from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. at the locations in Washington Township, Centerville, and Beaver Creek. This is the 11th year for Jersey Mike's Day of Giving.
Middle schoolers donated special gifts to Soin Medical Center, a great example of what's working in the Miami Valley. Today, students from Olentangy Berkshire Middle School in Galena donated homemade blankets to patients. The students made the blankets after their teachers' parents received blankets during their stay. Soin Medical Center staff say the blankets remind the patients there are people who care about them. They were dropped off today at the medical center by the student's teacher and her mother.
We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty.
Let the healing work begin!
Justice was served today.
And 2 more guilty verdicts after that. We will take you inside the courtroom for the dramatic conclusion of the trial of Derek Chauvin. It's first here tonight at 11, a sigh of relief across the country as George Floyd's killer is found guilty on all counts.
Jay Gray has the family's reaction to the Derek Chauvin verdict. Starting today, the White House says anyone 16 and older can sign up for a vaccine appointment. That announcement comes a week after the FDA paused production of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Our Washington Bureau reporter Raquel Martin tells us whether Washington health officials are concerned this could deter the new batch of Americans from signing up.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked that very question at Monday's press briefing. In short, she says there is no data so far showing that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine hold is deterring people from getting vaccinated.
Miamisburg City Council is considering establishing an outdoor drinking area downtown. Today, the council held a public forum to get community feedback on that idea. 2 News reporter Allison Gens is in Miamisburg tonight to explain what people had to say.
Miamisburg City Council is considering a DORA, or designated outdoor refreshment area, for the downtown. Now, the question of whether people should be allowed to carry their drinks outside comes with mixed feelings.
Turning now to weather, you may have felt the winds of change blow through the Miami Valley this evening, and you will not believe what they're blowing in. We check in now with Chief Meteorologist Brian Davis with the first check of the forecast at 11. Brian.
All right, thanks, Mark. Yeah, some nice spring air today, but a cold front moving in. That's the first ingredient we're seeing here tonight.